Hey, Jody.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you for
Get
joining
myself up and
us.
let me get myself in up here. Okay.
All right. Yeah, we were just giving some extra minutes for people to come in. It looks like people are slow to get on in here today, but that's all right. If yeah, hopefully more people will join us. But very exciting. We're actually streaming tonight to four different social medias in addition to being on Zoom right here. So
Oh,
we have
cool.
the opportunity to net some questions from Facebook, from Twitter, from YouTube, and also from another Facebook account. So
Wow.
yeah, we're really looking to build some engagement here, and it all, of course, starts right here with our coaches. So thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm hoping it's a good for me. I think it's a good way to learn.
Yeah, yep. There's always something any of us can learn. Everyone has a little bit they bring to the table. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
You can hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Carl.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Can you guys see? Did my screen stop sharing or? Oh, here it
No,
is.
looks like everything's sharing.
There it is. Spam. Cool. Now we're back to us. All right. Cool. All right. What do you want to do, Carl?
So you can see all the chats on all these different platforms.
Yep, I can see Instagram chat. I'm looking at the Facebook chat now. I'm not seeing anyone there yet.
I
I'm gonna
should be
pull up,
on. You should see my little text.
yep, I'm gonna pull up the YouTube now. Yeah.
We're trying all the new fancy tack.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna
So
shut
we'll
off my
utilize
camera
this
so I'm looking at
time
the
if
page.
nobody's coming on. I'm not sure if you did get to speak last week on the Master Coach call, Jody. Yes?
What?
You got to speak last week on the Master Coach call. You talked about why you joined and
Yes.
okay. Yep. Maybe we'll share that tonight if you don't mind sharing it with the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for Zach to get back.
I'm here. I'm just I'm looking around all between my different screens, so I didn't think I just shut off my camera because otherwise I just look crazy looking in all the different directions. I
Yeah,
got
it's
my
when I'm
head on
looking,
like a
when I'm
180
looking up
degree
stuff.
swivel here. What'd you say?
I say when I'm looking up stuff, always I'm like this in the screen because I'm actually looking at my computer.
Oh yeah. I have like a 180-degree swivel on my, you know, head look between looking at all the different ones.
Okay, well hopefully we'll get this up and running. We're getting the tech things sorted out today.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
that's
must be
true.
away. It's July. It's getting to the mid or end of the summer. People are taking their vacations before they got kids that go back to school.
Yep. Okay, so we are in the Facebook group and we're also on our standard Facebook page. Just
Okay,
confirm.
terrific.
But yeah, just need participants now.
Jody, do you have any questions for us, maybe?
Um, not so far. I just finished up tier one and getting ready to start tier two. Just a lot of information to get through. I'm like, gracious day.
Yeah,
But it's good information.
it is a lot of information, and that's why we like to let you do it at your own pace because everybody's got different schedules and life commitments. You know, you got kids or a busy life. You can only commit so much time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of really wanting to get it done, to be honest with you. I do.
You gotta put the blinders on and block everybody out for
I am. I'm
Oh,
kind of ready to
Carl,
get
I just got notified that
going.
Bobby is trying to enter the other meeting. She's trying to enter the coaches only call.
okay. Do okay, let me text her.
Okay. All right, cool. So it looks like we got at least one more person coming.
Okay, hopefully she's gonna get the text.
Cool.
Yeah, so each of the modules we added a bunch of articles and YouTube videos and follow-up information to just kind of uh further the points that were made in the videos.
Yeah.
And that takes a long time to get through all that stuff. Like the videos are only so long, but then everything that goes with it is so much longer. Bobby's here.
Hi, I'm overloaded. I'm sorry, but I'm glad I'm here.
Good, good. Bobby, you're a coach, right? You're a cancer
I
coach?
am, but I don't even know what I guess coaches coach people that have cancer. Um, I don't really do that. My I think I told you my husband and I do a show
Right,
that we
right.
teach
Ah,
people, but
yes.
also I just brought on a lady a year, this is a longer time, but a year ago, and I was on a call. Her father has cancer and he has it through his bones and his body and everything. And we do it's a aggressive protocol. And I didn't even know this was going to happen, but I came on the call late and she was in the middle. She said, I'm on with Bobby Siegel, and my father is a biochemist. He went and really studied, and our formulator gave him a protocol. And now he's 81, all the cancer is out of his body. I'm not out of his body, out of his bones, still in his body system yet, but it's the I mean, I had no idea that was going to, I mean, I know the products work, but you don't know everyone's body is different
Right.
and immune system and all that. So we've got lots of testimonials, but I just really believe in what I do. So
Yeah.
coaching is,
Awesome.
I don't know if I coach, but I do help a lot of people. I got 350 people now.
Yeah.
They're all over. I just got someone in France. Anyway, I just love it. I love making a difference in lives.
Wow.
And just we all need to come together and just share information and help people, because the government, I think right now, our formulator was saying it was 3 in 4 people now have cancer. Three to four,
Oh,
1 in 3 to 4 people have cancer.
Yeah.
And in those
Exactly.
3 to 4 people, 50% of them will die. It's
Mm.
just unbelievable. And children in high and in elementary school are getting cancer and
Yeah.
are becoming
It's little
diabetic
little person's
too.
disease.
Diabetes can be cured. They don't want you to know. All they do is maintain it. You all get it.
Yep.
You all get it. I'm frustrated with, why doesn't someone do something about that in our country? Other countries don't accept these toxins. It's the toxins in everything: coffee, toothpaste, tea bags, shampoo, toothpaste, mouthwash. I mean, you just laundry soap, dish soap. It's all toxic. And you
Yeah.
just have to change out as much as you can. That's my belief. I'm a walking miracle because I'm a totally different person. I should share my picture one of these days with you guys, what I
Well,
was
before we
before.
get too far
I'm
in,
sorry.
I'm sorry. We
Uh-huh.
might just do the preamble here. This is the Beat Cancer Answer Call. It's every Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And none of what we say is medical advice. So just we gotta put that out there so that people understand that
Exactly.
we're giving health advice, not medical advice. We have a few coaches on the line, and
That's good.
Zach and I are admin for the company and BeatCancer.org. We're a 50-year-old organization, been helping cancer patients holistically for just about 50 years, 48 years.
Wow.
We predate the internet. At one time, we were the only place to get information. Now there's so much information you don't know what's right or
True.
wacky or the flavor of the week, and that's why we train coaches in what's worked over the last 40 some years for us and what we've seen work. And we've helped, I don't know, 50,000 more people. We've taught over 10,000 people our protocols. We have over 500 coaches right now all over the world. So, yeah, we're fighting a good fight, and what you say is true. We want to try not get into too much trouble because we're on a bunch of different social platforms right now. So certain
True.
words get us in trouble or put a target on our back, but we can still speak, I think, pretty freely
Yes.
until they shut us off. But I do agree, there's toxins in everything, and the
Yes.
chemicals that they allow in
Mhm.
processed foods in America aren't
Mhm.
allowed in the very exact same foods produced by the same companies elsewhere, like
Mhm.
Canada and Europe, and they don't have that. They just don't allow the same toxins. Some of them don't. Some countries don't allow GMO. Others don't allow certain food colorings that cause problems, and so on. It's pretty amazing that it's allowed in America, but
It's awful. It's corrupt.
got to keep our medical system humming.
Yep. Keep them in that cash flow.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just heard the president say that he's going to cure cancer in 3 years. I'm like, why would he ever do that? All those people will be out of a job.
Hmm.
His donors would be pretty upset. But we'll see.
It's not just cancer, it's everything that
Oh
people,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's. I really honestly believe beat cancer. I really believe it can be prevented.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Most of it, not everything, but I believe that in my heart, and people just need to know.
yeah, and that's a very important mindset because that's ultimately the mindset of empowerment, and the opposite is disempowerment. And that's the default setting that everyone has really been led down to just feel like they're at the whim of this random genetic destiny that apparently everyone just has genes that make everyone sick. Like that's what these people have been convinced of, that you're just going to get sick because you're human, or you're going to get sick because your genes, or you're going to get sick because it's just random and there's nothing you can do about it. And the flip side of that is so important as a mental foundation to ever live any sort of healthy life. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
that used to be our that
even
used
if
to be our
it's
tagline. Our tagline was "Prevention is the cure." But we've since created a belief statement where we believe that uh, 90 to 95% of all cancers can be prevented through lifestyle and diet
Mhm.
alone. And science agrees with that. We know that only
They
5
do.
to 10% of all cancers are caused by your genes. And not only that, your genes, just because you have the genes that could potentially cause cancer, doesn't mean that you're going to get it. They've done plenty of experiments with twins that were separated at birth and went to two different families, adopted by and had two different health outcomes, and it was all about how they lived their lives. How they ate, did they exercise, how did they manage stress, things like that, and they saw that twins would have, one would get cancer, the other one wouldn't. Why? They both have exactly the same genes.
Hmm.
So it's epigenetics. So your lifestyle and your diet and definitely can affect the way that a gene will express itself. And I think our food pyramid was one of the greatest frauds that ever happened to America
Yes.
when you know
Yes.
that with
But
having whatever the bottom part is with all the grains. But it's not only the grains, it's what they put in it. Like a lot of breads and things like that, they put all these hydrogenated oils and seed oils and everything. And I think since that took over, seed oils took over like actual natural fats. That's when everybody started getting sicker.
mm,
So correlation doesn't make equal causation is always the scientific response I get from
Yeah.
people
But
heads.
you get enough dots, they start to connect
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
yeah. It's a shame. You could probably just flip that pyramid around and that would be better. Just totally upside down.
yes.
Awesome.
Well, now they have a new pyramid that says that Fruit Loops is better for you than ground beef. So I don't know.
Oh, I just heard a horrible story about ground beef, and I won't tell you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
so horrendous.
It is pretty
I
gross.
I only eat halal meat, and I go to a place that they get all their meats where it's not pumped chicken. You can't even go to a restaurant. What
Yeah,
has happened? Even good restaurants, if the food is horrible,
I agree.
what are they doing?
And overpriced.
And well, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Food
Yeah,
shortage.
but if you know your farmers and you can get grass-fed, grass-finished beef and you know where it's coming from, you can get good hamburger. But when it's hamburger at the store, it might have upwards of 1,500 different cows in that single beef patty,
Really?
and it's got all kinds of different things that could be wrong with that. So
Up to
yeah,
1,500 cows?
yeah, all the different bacteria from
Oh,
1,500 different
jeez.
cows. That's what they're finding.
That one I haven't heard.
Yep, yep. It's all big batch, and you get some of everything,
Mm.
and that's the good part. That's the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, you want to try to get your meats from farmers you trust if you can, or
Oh,
order them online.
all the
Or
farmer markets are opening up. That's
yeah,
great.
farmer markets are great. Yeah,
I know. It's fantastic. Eggs that are, it's great.
yeah.
But
I'm going a
everything's
step, I'm going a
expensive
step
there
further,
now.
Bobby. I got chickens now.
Yeah. Yeah. But now everything's so expensive there also. Everything's going up in price. It's crazy.
Yeah. Did you hear me? I said I went a step further and I got chickens now, so I get my own eggs.
Do you really? Oh man.
I'm going out to buy more tomorrow. Going to the farmer's auction.
I I don't have any property, so
Yeah, yep, yep.
you know that's a good idea. I have a rental property that has a acreage. Maybe I could get my new renters to get some chickens and I can help
Yeah.
pay for it. That's a good idea. You just
There you
you
go.
just put a bug in my ear.
Look at that. There's always a way. There's always a
There
way.
is. That's what people give up. There's always a way. The only way, the only thing you can't figure out is how not to die. There is
Yeah,
always a way.
you
Well,
can
we're all
try to
going to die
delay it,
sometime, but
but yeah.
You
we're
can
all gonna
delay
die.
it. Yeah.
But it's not a horrible death,
Yeah.
right?
Quality
But yeah,
life.
even if you have a small property, you can grow at least your herbs on your windowsill. You can
Yeah.
grow
I'm doing
things
that. Yeah.
nuts on your balcony,
Uh-huh.
you know. I mean, tomatoes, they're like crazy. You grow one tomato plant, you can get 10 pounds of tomatoes out of that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got room for a tomato plant.
Yeah, you can just have it crawl up something. If you could have a line that you hang from the top like from a hook,
Uh-huh.
down. You can weave that up the line right there, right on your balcony. You don't need a trellis. You don't need anything.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But you have to start in the
I've seen
spring.
things in
When do you, how do you do that? With seeds or
yeah, you could get seeds or you could buy a little plant someplace if
tomato
you
plant?
yeah. But seeds
But
grow
in the
pretty.
spring, though, yeah, don't you have to do that in the spring?
Uh,
When do you plant
uh,
tomatoes? I'm not a farmer.
no, you could plant tomatoes all the way even now. You can plant tomatoes. They won't be ready until like late autumn. They
Okay.
they flower pretty quick, so when I usually pluck off the flowers if they're coming in too early and let the plant get bigger and trim off the bottom so it's not just feeding leaves. Just little things.
I'll ask Siri's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all your answers are on YouTube.
I know. Isn't it fantastic? I wish I had that when I was a kid.
That's how I fix everything.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, you're right. Pros and cons. There's a lot of misinformation, disinformation.
So what do the coaches do? What do the coaches do?
Coaches, when
They
they
have a
go,
lot of, do they have people that come to them, or do they have meetings, or do they Zoom, or do they have an
yeah,
office that
yeah,
people come to? Or I'm
all
not,
the above. All the above. So different people have different business models.
okay.
That's one of the reasons that we don't put a specific business model into the course. But I would say mainly people fall into three different types of business models. One is Zoom or over the phone meetings. So they create they get appointments and they cancel people at designated times on the phone or on Zoom, uh, and they have some sort of plan that they work out with them. How many times a week they're going to call, or times or weeks a month or whatever they're going to do. Uh,
Okay.
there's other people that uh, do group meetings. They have like support meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have a group of people come together live or on Zoom, and they'll have a group of people working all together. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the second business model. The third business model would be somebody that actually has an office,
Okay.
have a place where a location where people come in. And typically those people are people that already have some sort of practice going on already. And this is like
Mm-hmm.
an added on service.
I see.
Uh,
That's a good idea.
but some have actually opened up their own office just as a coach.
That's great.
Yeah. So I would say
And
there's like three main models and everything else is just a variation of that. I guess the fourth would be they create courses or sell books. They author books or sell courses.
uh-huh.
It's another way that a coach gets the word out there. But um, courses and books, if they don't come with live support, you're not really coaching, right? So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really include that one. All the other ones involve you're actually working one-on-one with a patient, or even if it's a group, you're still lining up, answering individualized questions. So, yep. And we how we do it at the center is we do it the first way, by phone. We've been phone counseling people all over the world for 48 years.
And the coaching is like with, maybe positive thinking, lifestyle, I mean, are they?
Yeah, it's all the things that are in the course. So yeah, it does
Yeah.
have to do with mental. I wouldn't say positive thinking as much as thinking positively,
Uh-huh.
right?
That's
Like
good. I like that.
yeah, not being, having some reassurance that you're on the right path is good. That's what a coach is there for, a shoulder to cry on and to lean on when the whole world is telling you to do one thing, but your heart's telling you to do another, and you want to work with somebody that's knowledgeable, like a coach, to help guide you and to help you through the mistakes, because one protocol doesn't work for everybody.
Exactly.
So a coach can be there saying, okay, we were going this direction, but I think, maybe we should change or modify that, or maybe it's too much of a good thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that coach there to bounce things off so you don't feel so crazy. Right.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's tough because everybody's pushing you towards the medical field, and a lot of people do both. They do both conventional treatment and work with a holistic cancer coach. which is okay. And the coaches are willing to work with doctors. If the doctors are willing to work with the coach is willing to work with a doc because we
And
fill a gap that the doctor doesn't do, right? So let's just go over what most doctors in oncology do. Just overall, it's either surgery and they have a surgeon. The surgeon is not the person that administers chemotherapy or
Mhm.
radiation,
right.
right?
Right.
And then you have somebody that does the chemotherapy that doesn't do the surgery or the radiation, and then you have somebody that does radiation, right? So
Mhm.
that would be the three main things. But what happens is you go in for your chemotherapy appointment, and then you don't really talk to the doc much or at all until your next chemotherapy appointment.
Mhm.
So what do you do in between? How do
That's
you
where you need a coach or
yeah,
someone to just the
how do
psychological
you get
thing.
to assist yourself in the healing process
Mhm.
in those waiting periods, right? So that's where we really bridge the gap between the doctor's office and your living room, right? There's a lot of time and worry and
Yeah,
anxiousness,
Mhm.
of
um,
course. Which is
and
even
people
just
like
the
to be a part.
stress.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, stress.
It's messing up their immune system.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Sometimes that's why people get cancer.
I know.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I just met a nurse who works for MD Anderson. And I didn't know this, but for the last 10 years, MD Anderson has kind of an alternative thing that they do also. They
Yeah.
have a whole section of and I had no idea that. And she's inviting me to one of their conventions up in the Woodlands. So
Oh,
I'm
very
gonna,
cool.
she said, "Oh, you'll learn a lot with this." So I thought that was, yeah, I just met her in
There seems to
a
be some
manicure and pedicure. You don't know who you're going to meet.
there seems to be a little bit of a convergence lately. We've been seeing that even when we go to holistic cancer events, there seems to be more integration talk.
Yes.
So that's definitely coming from the medical side. They want to integrate with the holistic side. Um, because the holistic side was always willing to integrate. They were always willing, they just wanted to help. So really it's a change in the feelings coming from the medical side to be more open towards what we have to say.
Hmm.
Did you want to add to that, Zach? Seems like you had something right on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, I was just responding to an email. Someone's trying to get on the call, so perhaps we'll have someone else joining us. But yeah, I'm just very skeptical of the whole integrative thing
Yeah,
going on. It's
Oh.
wonderful to see that more people are being exposed to the holistic side of things. I just hope that people don't stop at what is going to be offered and is currently offered in the more conventional avenues on the holistic side, because there's always going to be so much more than even just that as well.
and the other thing is that, you know, people want to, especially in the medical arena, want to say, how is it regulated, right? That's always the thing. And the, what comes with non-regulation is the fear that, oh, it's not regulated, so how do you know? How do you know it works, or how do you know it's safe? But the flip side of that is you have a freedom to try. You have the freedom to try things,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and a lot of things have worked over the years. They just don't recognize it. They don't want to recognize it.
Mhm.
So
And you have to be your own advocate, I believe,
absolutely.
because your doctor's only going to give you 15 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'm hearing now with some of my friends that are doctors or dermatologists, and they said they're with doctors, and they said they're now giving some of these patients 3 to 5 minutes.
yep.
Is
That's what they're saying
ludicrous.
in
In
medical school.
fact,
They
I
say
was scheduled for something, and I said, I want to make another appointment with the doctor before it was for a colonoscopy, which I'm not doing, by the way.
okay.
But but I said I needed to ask the doctor a few more questions. I need to make another appointment. Oh no, you can ask that before the procedure. Run, don't walk.
Yeah.
That's the hard
Didn't want to
sell.
talk to me. And it was about the anesthesia. I wanted to, no, thank you. I'm not doing this. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And my other doctor said, don't do it at your age.
You can perforate.
Yes, the
Non-regulation
lining
is
is thinner at my age.
Yep, you can perforate easily.
And he said, look, they've done every test in the world. I wound up in the hospital. I ate pumpkin seeds for 2 weeks and it messed my stomach up. I did it to myself. But anyway, they said they've taken every test. You're extremely healthy. We see your blood work. They would have seen something. Why would you do a colonoscopy? Thank you. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably looking for diverticulitis, but it doesn't seem like you have that.
I don't. I do have diverticulosis, which is different.
Lysis.
And the pumpkin seeds is what messed me up. So I was back and forth 3 times to the hospital. And the third time, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, the third time a nurse tried to bully me. And I mean, I will tell you, the nurses were fabulous, most of them. But this third time going into the hospital, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And she said, you have to do this procedure down your nose, and I've got a surgeon waiting. We think you have a twisted intestines. They were ready to do something right then and there. And I'm like,
explore.
no, I don't think so. And so I had to wait 18 hours to get into the hospital, to get into the bed. And my surgeon, when I told him this story, he rolled his eyes. He knows all my tests and everything. He said, you absolutely do not need any of that. And he's a surgeon, a top surgeon. And he said, it's ridiculous that they were trying to get you to do that. But if I had been a person that didn't have the knowledge that I have now, that I didn't have 7 years ago, I mean, I believed everything the doctor said. I was taking flu shots every year. I was taking 15 years of steroids and antibiotics, other meds. I take nothing now. I don't have asthma. There's something with this.
Absolutely.
When you change your life around. I mean, I almost died 7 years ago. So I'm such a believer in doing it healthy, the health way. Anyone?
Yeah, we've seen that with people that come to BeatCancer for cancer.
Sure.
They change their lifestyles and their diets and everything, and the next thing you know, they're getting off all these different meds that they've been taking forever. They're getting off their gout medication, they're getting off heart medication, they're getting off, everything.
And the thyroid that every other person has all of a sudden, which I think is a baloney.
They'll say, I've been on this stuff for 20 years, and now they're off all these medications. They feel better than they ever have.
That's what happened to me. I mean, I'm going to show you sometime my before and after pictures. It's horrifying.
And we're not saying that we cure anything. That would be
no, you don't cure.
The body cures itself. You just got to give it a chance.
And sometimes do things to support your body, like eating good food, and watch your PLU codes. Do you guys, I'm sure you know about the PLU. Codes on fruits and vegetables.
Oh.
Talking about like the numeric codes for different vegetables.
Yes, PLU. You want
like
9.
Kind of.
You want the 9s. You don't want the 3s or the 2s or the 4s or the 5s. You want the 9. And even with that, so that has the least amount of pesticides. Even with that, I use something, and it's better than oil, water and vinegar, but that's certainly something you can do, but you still need to wash everything thoroughly. I use something, but anyway, you just got to, the more you can avoid putting into your body that's toxic, the better you are off. I believe that's my belief.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a simple concept that people struggle with so much. It's really insane. And I've actually even seen people out there saying that detoxification isn't real.
Yeah.
I've seen people believe that detoxification isn't real, as if it's a completely made up concept that you could have things in your body that aren't supposed to be there, and that you could do certain things to get it out. There's genuinely people walking amongst us that think that that's made up.
A lot of them.
My gosh.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you think's going on in there? Like, what do you think's going on in the body? I struggle to really wrap my head around that mentality or lack thereof.
Yes, I mean, I
At the
knew
codes
nothing.
that you saw on the fruits, we've been warning about appeal and organic peel or whatever, but appeal is terrible.
And when say this again, what is this?
Appeal, APEAL.
Uh-huh.
Look it up. It's a coding. I believe Bill Gates was part of the.
Oh, the coating on the fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, yeah, and it's got forever chemicals in it, so it doesn't wash off.
Nope.
And what they're finding is that they'll have uh like uh fruits and vegetables that look fresh on the outside but are rotten on the inside,
Yep. Well,
especially like
also,
avocados.
have you heard
I
of
mean, I love avocados. I have
I
a
love,
love relationship with avocados because you get an avocado and it's hard and you got to wait for it to get a little bit soft before you want to eat it, right? So it's
right?
like, wait, 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 one day too late. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
You think it's like just right and you cut into it, it's already brown on the inside. But they're finding that these things are looking ripe on the outside and totally rotted on the inside.
Well, I did find out something about that, and I don't know if you know about it, but I think it's called Smart Fresh fruits and vegetables. Has anyone heard of that?
Now, what is that?
Sounds delicious, Smart
Oh, yeah,
Fresh.
Smart Fresh. Yeah, smells
They
sounds
are
good.
taking all the fruits and vegetables, and I don't know if this is where in our country, but this is what I heard. It's called Smart Fresh, and they put it in these huge containers like vaults, and they have a water system that they put the chemicals in, and they gas all the fruits and
Oh
vegetables
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that they don't turn, dark, or they keep green and red and
Yeah. And even the ones in the organic section when they have the spray that comes down on them makes them wet,
yeah.
there's something in that.
There is.
There is.
Oh my
Oh yeah,
God.
that's not water.
You gotta
No,
ask. You
when
gotta
you
ask
see it
if
like spritzing the produce in the fridge in the grocery store,
yeah, you
that's
gotta
not
ask
water.
if
If
they
you
use
look
certain.
on top of the shelving unit, you'll very often be able to see like the little bottle of whatever is in there. It's a freshener spritzing on this stuff.
Yep,
I didn't know that.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. So these are the things that we talk about routinely.
You learn from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so far we've learned that you have 1,500 different cows in your hamburger.
I know. That's,
But
yeah.
to take a look at the numbers on your fruit, that's what you're talking about, the little code that's on the
Yeah,
fruits.
it's called the PLU, which means uh uh now I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about at first, but then I
Something lookup.
yeah.
Price lookup. PLU, price lookup is what it's for. And then it says 9 or 4, with different
Right,
numbers.
right.
Price lookup. PLU. I never knew what that was.
Yeah, every product has the different
It lets you
SKUs.
know.
Uh-huh.
So I just pulled it up. Apparently, a very common one is called Produce Max.
Where's that? Oh, produce.
Like the
Um,
sprays there, yeah, like
yeah,
on
so if you see
Oh, I know.
the produce there, and
Uh-huh.
then you kind of look up in the grocery store. Oh, I zoomed in too much. And you'll see like a bottle up there.
Ah, oh my gosh.
Here's a bottle. It's a disinfectant. And you know what that means. It's an antibacterial, and we are bacteria, so it's anti-us. Now, this is not a verified source. This is just a Google search. So this
Correct.
Google search is saying that it's so toxic that they legally cannot throw it in a trash can. Again, take it for what it's worth, do your own research. I'm just
and
reading
you saw
Google.
they were spraying that on the organic stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. This is making me even angrier.
People should be angry.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's so toxic that they can't. I've been writing stuff down. They
I mean,
can't
that's what
throw
a
the
Google
bottles
search
away.
said.
What are the
They must have to take them away in hazmats.
Let's
mm,
see. Produce Max.
Mm.
A
It's called
water
produce mash.
additive for bacteria. Yeah, all these things always sound nice.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's what they
produce
do.
mats. Sounds delicious.
Manufactured by ChemStar.
Oh my
It's
God.
it's so dystopian. Let's see, hypochlorous acid. See, this is always so suspicious because I might Google hypochlorous acid, and that might be totally fine.
It's the other
But
ingredients.
what
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
99.55 other? Like,
Yeah,
what
right.
does that mean?
Yeah, they don't want you to know.
What
They
What
don't
is
is
have the
that?
listeners
99.55% other?
for a total of 100%. You see that, right?
Yeah, because there's 0.45 of the active ingredient and 99.55 other. And I'm sure this is a nice FDA approved item that
There it is.
yeah, because they're our friends.
Well, there's the label right there. That's all the FDA is about is labeling. They just put it right there on the label. Well, there you go. They're done.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like,
Yeah, pull up a peel, and there's Organa peel or something. The one they put on organic fruits, but it's basically the same thing.
So if it's on your skin or clothing, call poison control immediately.
ah,
Not even if you drink or eat it. If
Yeah.
it's on your skin, call poison control immediately. But eat the produce that is sprayed with it.
oh my God.
And they don't tell you. It doesn't
Welcome
have the
to
Hold
warning
on.
sign
Can
on
I
your
take it?
organic
I'm going
fruit.
to take it. I did a screenshot.
okay. Crazy.
So
What
you
did you
want to
say?
Wow.
pretend you don't know how to use the computer.
And
You
now
can,
I never knew that. God, that makes me angry.
Organic peel.
yes, it's what's a peel, and then there's the Organa peel.
Organapeel? And that's
It,
the
it's
same.
it's a
Oh, so
peel from
Let's see.
it looks like organic peel is a derivative of a peel.
exactly right.
Yep.
But they make it sound so nice. It's the
Exactly.
Organa peel.
Exactly. Fourth grade. I remember my teacher say, let the buyer beware.
Oh, we have a comment on Facebook. We have someone that says, I have stage 4 endometrial cancer.
Mm.
Hope that there's hope. I'm 32 and this diagnosis has been very stressful. Well, I'll keep you anonymous unless you want to say otherwise, but to that commenter, know that you are in the right place and you can know that there's hope, and having faith and having the right mindset that healing is possible is absolutely one of the first steps that is always necessary to optimize our outcome, whatever that may be. So I'm not
Definitely
sure.
send them the number to the center so you can get in touch with Randy.
Yep, absolutely. And so I'm gonna pull it up on the screen even right now. And
Nothing against the coaches that are on the line. One's not graduated yet, and the other one doesn't coach. So we'll send them right to Randy at this point.
yep, absolutely. So if you're still with us, you can go to BeatCancer.org. We have a variety of programs, most of which are entirely free. If you click right here on this holistic cancer counseling button, this is some information on our in-house doctor. She's a naturopathic licensed physician here in the United States and has been working in the field with cancer patients and otherwise for several decades. This number right here is a direct line to get in contact with her. That's 610-234-0671. Usually, you'll leave her a voicemail, leave her a message, let her know that you're interested in consulting with her about your circumstances, and she'll get back to you as quickly as possible, and she'll work with you and work with you through whatever step of the way that you are currently at.
Right. We can't give any type of medical advice on this phone call because A,
Right.
we haven't done an intake evaluation with you, and B, we got to be generalized here, but you can talk to Dr. Randy, and it is a nonprofit, so it is free. We appreciate donations, but if you don't, there's no obligation to give us a donation at all. Just get on with Dr. Randy, and she worked directly with our founder for over 30 years. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Well, it sounds like she's on the right track too. She just jumped in with another comment saying, I changed my diet, stopped carbs and sugar, and I appreciate the information. Well, we appreciate you coming to us. That's exactly what these calls are here for. You're catching us on Facebook. You are very welcome to join us on Zoom as well. We're going to be wrapping up shortly this week. But if you'd like to catch us live on the Zoom call itself, you could go to, again, BeatCancer.org and click on the weekly call button. Same time, same place every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Uh, yeah, you can email us as well at support@BeatCancer.org. Phone in to Dr. Randy Shane or send us an email and we'll point you towards several of our other informational avenues as well. Know that there is hope and you've certainly found the right place. So we're very glad to help. Thank you for joining us.
now we can't say we cure anybody, but I can tell you about I'll give you a success story real quick. Uh, Way back in the beginning when Susan was putting together this organization, and it was just a couple of ladies working their hearts out. Um, they they had a friend that had stage 4 and cancer, and then the doctors were giving her weeks to live, like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. And they helped her to get physically well enough to handle some of the treatments that she was going to have to go through, and then nursed her back to health the rest of the way, because the treatment doesn't get you healthy. All it does is maybe get rid of your cancer or not, or even put you into a worse position. But they helped her holistically, and she didn't die on her death date 4 to 6 weeks later. The last I heard from her, she was 95 years old, 35 years later.
Oh,
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. She was in the paper and everything. She talked about us.
That's awesome. Yeah, and there's so many stories out there, far more than we'll ever even know about. And it's a true testament to the importance of, as Susan used to say, accepting the diagnosis, but rejecting the prognosis, because we shouldn't ever let anyone put an expiration date on us. We shouldn't ever let ourselves tell ourselves that we have an expiration date. We can push on far beyond what might be what a book says is our time. So it's
And,
important to take the right steps. It's important to maintain a healthy attitude and take steps towards healthier behaviors. It sounds like the caller or the commenter is on the right track. Cutting out some carbs can be a great idea. Cutting out some sugar can be a great idea. Um, Being healthier in all the different ways under normal circumstances are also even more important when we're having a cancer concern. So it really does sound like you're on the right track, and wanting to take action and wanting to pursue resources is only gonna help you move in a positive direction. She
and
says, if chemo worked for everyone, then everyone would be alive.
yeah, yeah. There's I think even the best case scenario for chemo that comes from the medical uh like big sites like cancer.org or whatever, um, is 30%. But we really know that it's closer to 3%. That's the real truth about it.
leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they prescribe it for many different cancers that it doesn't even do anything for. So it's one of those things that you gotta, again, you gotta be your own advocate and do your own research and make sure you're getting multiple opinions. Right. So one of the things that happens is people are rushed in through fear, right? Do this or die.
Mhm.
And then they also plant in, you got X amount of weeks or months or whatever, and then people die right on time. Like 6 months later, they die right when the doctor said, "Well, they're not psychic. They're not. It wasn't even a good guess. It was they planted that seed and they believed that they were going to die 6 months later and did." And that's what I think that Zach was alluding to, you can accept the diagnosis, but not the prognosis, right? Don't let that get stuck in your mind.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, we had someone else join us for a second here. I was just going to ask them if they had a question, but they seem to have left.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock, so I think we're gonna unless you got any more questions coming in.
Yep, from our commenter, we'll take this last question. And of course, if you have follow-up questions, you can get in contact with us at support@BeatCancer.org. Or, of course, Dr. Randy Shane is available to field all sorts of questions, perhaps even better than us. And the last question here is, do vitamins help? I hear that B17 is good, but not sure if apricot kernels work.
Yeah, that's B17 is Laetrile, and there's a lot of documentation on B17 and Laetrile. We have a book. Do I have it here? I don't have it right here, but it's the ABC. Oh, here it is. Can we see that? The ABC, it's probably backwards. Alphabet. And this has we talk about Laetrile in here, or vitamin B17. It's actually, I think that's an enzyme. I don't even think it's a I don't think it's a vitamin actually, but yep, there's a lot of science on it. But again, we can't prescribe that.
Mm.
We can just say we've seen pretty good evidence. And here's a little section where we talk about it, the apricot seeds. Sloan Kettering's done studies, animal studies at Sloan Kettering. So there's a lot of science behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though a lot of science is skewed to support certain industrial products in the name of health, there is certainly no shortage of good science that perhaps is not agendaed and just wants to get good information out there and does highlight the very, very powerful healing benefits of certain natural substances and compounds and even isolates. So
Yes.
thank you for
Everything.
joining us. Honestly, it's very meaningful that you decided to join us and ask questions. The participation means everything, and it really fuels us to keep going and keep having these calls. So really, on a personal note and from the organization, we appreciate that you decided to join us here today.
Yeah. Everything that we teach, by the way, is science-based. It might not be science from America, but it's science-based.
Yeah.
Good call. I learned a lot. Got my notes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Jay,
everybody.
Bobby, Dave,
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
So is it at 6:15 next week?
It's
Or
6 o'clock
It's 6 o'clock.
In your
for
time zone.
Central Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, anyone, if you're ever confused about the time, I'm just going to share screen this one last time and clear it up. Right on our homepage, BeatCancer.org, if you go to weekly call, this is for the public weekly call that you're currently watching, either live or the recording of. Here it is, the time zones explained. Every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. If you're not in America, please convert to whatever your time zone is. And you could click this button right here, and that'll bring you right to the Zoom. Very simple. You
Yep.
can find it very reliably right on our homepage. And that's the easiest way to get here. And that's the easiest way to remember what time this call is.
And we're getting our little reminders right now from our calendars that we have another call in 10 minutes for the coaches only call. So coaches, please join us. And for everybody else, thank you so much for joining us this week, and we'll see you here next week.
All right.
Bye. Thank
See you then,
you.
everyone. Have a good week.